Was this League's Cup a success? Did this League's Cup set out, or did it achieve what it set out to do? And I'll let you go first.
I got. I'm not sure like how I would define what the goal was at the start, but I would say it's a success. I mean, the entertainment value that it brought was phenomenal. It was just a nice change of pace from like this point in the MLS season where it just kind of gets a little dull and stale because it's like it's the middle of the season. You're just kind of playing the same MLS teams over and over again, and it's not like you're in the last couple games and you're fighting for your life for a playoff spot or something. So it was a nice mix to just throw something new in there and get to play a few new teams, and get to play against some Liga MX teams who, for a lot of MLS teams, they don't get that opportunity because not everybody's making CONCACAF Champions League every year. So I think it was a good idea on the surface, and I think it executed really well. Additionally, I think there are things that could be worked on, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it. But entertainment value, I mean, I thought entertainment was way better than I expected it to be.
I think that's a perfect way to put it. I think that you had a tournament that had, or you had an idea to say the biggest soccer viewership in the United States right now is the Mexican American population. They love their Club Americas. They love their Monterreys. They love getting those guys in. How do we get them to look at MLS teams as well? And that's, I think, what this was about. It was a way to expose the league to a different demographic of players, of people, of supporters. And I think it was a great success. Look at the turnout for the Liga MX fans all over the country, right? It wasn't, and again, you had your smaller clubs, the Juarez versus Mazatlan that had 200 fans in Austin Stadium. That was not great. But you look at the Club Americas, you look at the Monterreys, you look at the turnout for those types of games. That is what this was all about. It was getting full stadiums. Again, as you mentioned, playing against Liga MX teams in something that mattered that wasn't just Champions League. I think it was a fantastic success. You mentioned entertainment value. Goodness me, was this an extremely entertaining tournament? And I will come out on record and say that I was one of the guys who was like, I'm not sure about this. This doesn't real. I'm not quite sure this is something we need. I'm not quite sure this is something we should do. I can't wait for it to come back next year. So much fun. I really, really enjoyed a lot of the aspects of what they did. And you could feel that it meant more than just a friendly or a game in Champions League where we were in preseason. We kind of knew the odds were stacked against us and we wanted teams to win, but we didn't have a horse in the race for the most part. You've seen Atlanta in the Champions League. I've seen Red Bull in there, but there are teams who don't watch their team in Champions League for a long time. So they're not as drawn to it. Everybody had a horse in this race. And then there was also the bragging rights, the League MX versus MLS bragging rights, which the better league won, of course. But I think it was a massive, massive success. I really, really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people were surprised by it. And I think what you'll end up seeing is those empty stadiums that you did see. So I'll take Red Bull as an example, where our stadium was very, very empty on those weeknight Leagues Cup games because everybody at the beginning had that same thought. This is just going to be a glorified friendly. It doesn't matter. I don't want to be there. So they didn't opt in their season ticket package. I think you see everybody opting in, most people opting in this year for the next, iteration of it. And those tickets are actually going to go for something because they were a ton of fun to watch. And you saw as you got to the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the finals, the stadiums were sold out. Whether Messi was there or not, it helped that Messi was there, but whether Messi was there or not, Nashville sold out, right? St. Louis sold out. Everybody who was there sold out. So I think you're going to see a lot more engagement over the next couple of years when this becomes commonplace. The first year it's always going to get bumps and bruises, but overall, I think for the first year of the iteration, big success. Very, very happy with it. I enjoyed it a lot.